Hi everyone, it is July 1st, 2024. I am happy to be back and to be inviting our next guest, chosen by my higher consciousness, my smarter self. Before we begin, I need to give my disclaimer, which is I don't claim anything that I say or that goes on here as fact, and that this is for entertainment purposes only. And with that said, I would hope that we find a bit of entertainment along with a bit of truth. So, with that said, higher, who are we bringing? I'm suggesting we invite Carlos. Sorry, Charles Dickinson. Boy, there's nothing like my hire to make me feel inadequate in my education. Charles Dickinson was a writer, I know that much. Tale of a Two Cities? Okay. Alright. This is where my mediumship comes in, and I don't have to know anything about him to bring him in. So this is a testament to the superior, indefinite ability of ourselves when connected with the higher realms. Charles Dickinson, hello. Are you willing to speak? Andrea, I am willing to speak. He says he's overfloored with excitement to be here. My journey, though long, from where you are, was short lived in so very many ways. Life could not have offered me enough time for my scrolling, for his writing. But I marveled and wondered and filled the script with every moment that I had to do so. And with that, I'm pleased and I'm honored. For my writings are beholden or held in libraries still today and revered as writings worthy of the shelf. Andrea, you may not succumb to your nerves. I am Charles Dickinson, and I will carry this message that you so graciously have allowed for me today. My daytimes were more often night times. When the world was asleep is when my pen and my words came into existence. My stories, although but far from your reality today, were very much close to mine then. My reality seeped through the wedges in between the wood as if it poured down my walls and rolled across the floor and onto my feet and up my legs. And as it climbed higher, my brain switched on. The part of my brain that that knew no measurements. He's saying a vast world of to behold, but not for. Say it again. The outline of the world that I imagined upon candlelight and my pen at night was entirely without structure. In other words, he's saying it was infinite. The ability, the imagination, the go ahead. Andrew, am I seeking for new fortunes, new blessings upon the vastness of my outer consciousness, he's saying, filled me with plenty of nothing that I could say is less than sublime. Superior writing I knew not for to do. I stayed true to the inviting of what was to come to me. He's saying like you. Charles Dickinson then had he had telepathy. His pineal organ was active and he could receive from the higher realms. Is that what you're saying? Andrea, very true. And very much like you. My wilderness, which I plaid, I'm sorry, which he absorbed through his pen, came from, like you, other realms, higher realms, in a way that was victory. There was nothing unfelt pouring out of my pen, for in every thought delivered me, the feeling and the experience of it was also delivered. My namesake, I'm sorry, Charles, a namesake is like your idol or something like that. My namesake was Poe. He fought fortitudes of much piled up paperwork. He's seeing legalities. He forged through with his pen as a sword for others' doing, such as mine, to become uncriticized for record. I'm sorry. I'll keep going. Andrea, Charles Dickinson was famous for his foregoings in many of the legal matters, the legal system, forging it, fighting for it, he says. He was big in fighting for legal rights, to write, We were cramped our pens in the beginning. The Almighty speaketh not not to speak it and record it on paper in words. When the divine delivers note by pen, the Almighties, meaning the rulers, the mere mortals, they resisted, they despised it. Upon, beneath their ruling, they would see to their powers that divinely written words would not be followed, would not be read. Go ahead, Charles. Andrea, my penmanship was brutal. He's saying you can show your viewers what I mean. Okay? Let's... As not yours for your recording. And what he's saying is it's not necessary that I make that legible or that I could read it later. My horror markings, my scribbles, it was a must that they were legible. For my not having the ability to review them later, he says the editing was done by hand later. For the value that it was legible. Are you telling me that I need to slow down? Andrea, I am simply stating. I'm sorry. Andrea, I'm giving you a clue as to penmanship in my day and how important it was. For it stood as record, untyped. I will mention my name or the name. I will mention your name amongst my colleagues here for their understanding of and knowing of yet another source of creative recordings from the higher realms. Andrea, you shuffle beneath your knees. I'm sorry, Charles. Andrea, let's go back to my day. I'm sorry, Candle and Pelt. He said, and how I felt. Remember the cabin where I'm riding. And the words and the infinite abundance that would leak through the walls and down to the floor. Andrea, you know how I felt. Please explain saying for me, what you felt. Charles, I words are hard for that. Andrea, your knowledge of my abundance at the time I was receiving it has been felt by you in an instant. Would I agree? I agree. For words, Andrea, which you have the luxury of not having to pen, what was felt? I want to cry. What was felt was the divinity, the God in us. There's such a God in us. There's such a beautiful abundance of offerings and awareness given us, downloaded us through the higher realms. I'm sorry for viewers, and I know that there's no words to describe what Charles Dickens is asking me to describe. Andrea, you lay down not a feather. Yet the shaking and the trembling of the sounds, the vibrations of the earth still come. Do the laying down of a feather. I agree. That's like, in layman's terms, it's the butterfly effect. Far from the butterfly effect, Andrea. The divine's effect can shelter nothing other than what is true. It is within me and it is within you. The divinity within you and the divinity in which is in me and coming to me like it's come to you, being delivered, is all more fascinating to our state of being than what we've been delivered outside of our own divinity and the higher realms whom come along with the package. When we're born, we are escorted, we are undivided. Our communication and our closeness with the divinity and those in the higher realms for their messages, very much as the ones you and I receive. It is through divinity that this message I deliver. Divinity is to be seen, but first sought. Your viewers, Andrea, for your video, having me here today, may not offer the gift of sight to some, even many. But to see the divine intertwined with the living, he's making me cry. Andrea, we salute to the higher realms, to the divinity in us, to the connections that we have to the divine. Do we not? Absolutely. The God in us recognizes the God in us on an extreme level. Does it not? Of course it does. Sorry, this is emotional, guys. Just trying to stay clear on this. Andrea, Charles Dickinson was a famous author, a writer of many fantasies, of many articles. What stands nearest to his name in lights is what's closest to all of us. Andrea, your name in lights. Charles, what? Andrea, the divinity within us all. You're connected with on a conscious level, as I was. Our readers, our watchers, our viewers are as close with their own divinity as we are, only they're not aware of it. And for that, I come as guide. To you, Andrea, to guide you, to guide them. We are not books on a shelf. Our stories aren't written from the day we're born till the day we die. These are not the journals that are created for the shelves within the bindings of what we truly are. In retrospect, he's showing me leaves, on big leaves like the size of my hand, and the dew that's rolling off of the leaves. Andrea is denying me what I just asked her to say. Sorry. For fear of it sounding of the way it would sound. Okay, let's go back. I'll do this. Charles Dickinson. He's showing me leaves. He's showing me dew falling, dripping down, rolling down off the leaf. We are that dew, Andrea. That water is a source supply of what we are made of consciousness, of love, of molecular energy. To be forced upon a leaf, to have the drive to move across it or down it. The droplet of water that I'm showing you falling off that leaf, Andrea, regardless of where it lands when it falls off the leaf, it is it is eternal. It is infinite. Whether it seep into the ground and be devoured by anything thirsty there, such as the dirt, the foliage, the compost, the insects, the other leaves down there. The drop of water exists whether it dries by the sun or it's consumed by another something. We are the dewdrops upon the leaves. We appear there. For the sole purpose of it being there, of it being at all. Andrea, let go. He's telling me to let go of I'm trying to rein this in. I'm trying to be the director. Andrea, the flow of existence exists within one drop of water. And for us to consider at the mega drops of water that one body is made of, that we are less than, or at the very least not as much as. It's the faltering of our existence throughout history to undermine and underestimate and ill believe the divinity within us to be as great or greater than one drop of dew on a leaf. Andrea, your sentiments are felt and heard us in the higher realms very much as our sentiments are felt and heard from you where you're at. And for this, there's an exchange of golden appreciation and love. Is there not? It's very beautiful. And there absolutely is. Andrea, I wrote upon my notebooks, my pages, sometimes even in the dark with cramping cold hands. I wrote for the sharing of our own divinity from divinity for humankind, your kind, Andrea. To celebrate Charles Dickens and his writings. Is far beyond what celebrating my writings truly is, for it's a celebration of the divinity within us all. It is the pages in which you can hold that. It is the evidence of divinity right there. There's divinity in those pages. It's evidence. Andrea, I admire your courage. Your solemn structure to be viewed a specific way falters yet at every re- request from those in spirit. Of course, we are humbled by it, by your being humbled by us, and he says, make them see, Andrea. Let them understand through your heart's understanding, your willingness to deliver just what divinity is in the best way you can. And for that, my hat is off to you. And he says he's looking forward to me reading his great writings, because I don't know any of his stuff. Andrea, you've given divinity its award today, like its medal. And just broadening of the awareness to anyone watching the state of the divine, and how close it is to us, how much it is within us. When we cherish the divine spirit within us, we give honor to our very existence. And he's showing me the dewdrop on a leaf. That was beautiful. Charles Dickinson, who would have thought? That was amazing. Andrea, your stretch shall be reaching far. Although your arm is only a mile long. As Charles Dickinson, Andrea, I will ask you to describe to your viewers what I gave you when I said your arm is a mile long. What did you receive from the divinity, from the higher realms, from me? An all-knowing and understanding and beauty and sense of pure love. That's what I felt. That's what I received. Andrea, thank you. Your higher is to be noted as well for the choosing of my title to come to visit today. And it is my hope that you will invite me back, for there is much more from where I'm at in the divine to say. I will read at least a chapter of one of your books. I'm so embarrassed. Alright guys, that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. Charles did, I did. It was pretty cool. See you guys next time.